Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Kenosha County Circuit Court. Please remain standing for the invocation by Alvin D. Owens,
please. I was asked to do the invocation and I had to look it up. I said, what is an invocation? Going to church all my life and didn't know. But it is a prayer. But I have a challenge for everyone. You invited Alvin Owens, so you're going to get a challenge as well. The invocation: the supreme quality for leadership is unquestionably integrity, by Dwight D. Eisenhower. And this famous quote emphasizes that integrity is the most important quality a leader can possess, and without it, true success is not possible. My prayer for us is to all lead with ... And my call to action is for all of us to lead and serve, to fill in the blank with the blanket of integrity as you define the answer, as you fulfill your obligations to our city, to our county, and to our state. Amen.
Amen.
Please remain standing for the posting of the colors.
Honor Guard, present colors.
Please join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order, colors. Honor Guard, fall off.
Please be seated. Thank you and welcome everyone for coming here today. We are here today to honor the Kenosha Clerk Regi Waligora, Register of Deeds Jennifer Mack, and Treasurer Teri Jacobson. I am Deputy Chief Judge Chad Kirkman, and I will introduce the other judges who are up here. To my left is Judge Angelina Gabrielle, Judge Jason Rizal. To my right, Judge Jared Dugville and Judge Jody Meyer. Also present today are other elected officials. We have quite a few here today. We have the County Executive Samantha Kirkman and State Representative Ben DeSchmidt. If you could raise your hand over there, thank you. And retired State Representative Todd Onstead. Thank you. From the Kenosha County Board of Supervisors, we have Vice Chair Daniel Geschke and John Morrissey, Sarah Kirby, Julia Robinson, Gabe Nuno, John Franco, and Guida Brown. We have Mayor Bagdala, and from the City Aldermen, we have Jan Mikulski and Roland Pizzala and Ruth Dyson. We have the Summers Municipal Judge here, Bob Kupfer. Thank you. Former County Executive, John Collins. Thank you. And retired Register of Deeds, Joellen Storrs. Did I miss anybody?
Oh, Todd was there. I forgot Todd.
Oh. Also, our Clerk of Courts, Rebecca Mataska-Mentic.
Don't take her for granted, Jack.
Next, we will have remarks from Rebecca Mataska-Mentic.
Well, good afternoon, all. It is my honor and privilege to stand before you today as we celebrate the swearing in of our Register of Deeds, our County Clerk, and our County Treasurer. Congratulations to incumbents Teri Jacobson and Regi Waligora, as well as newly elected Register of Deeds Jennifer Mack. The invitations and program for today's ceremony often mention the term constitutional officers. These elected positions were established as a permanent element of county-level government structure back in 1848 when Wisconsin became a state. And this is to ensure a uniform system of county government across all counties. Originally, these offices were up for election every 2 years, but in 2008, these positions were statutorily modified to a 4-year general election cycle. The change to this 4-year cycle was kind of a sigh of relief to those holding the positions at the time. Ask Teri. While many of you wonder why these positions are partisan, you can ask any members holding these positions that it's so much easier to have the benefits of running a fall election through the summer as opposed to having a spring election and running through our Wisconsin winters. But regardless of that, these partisan duties of each of these offices are set forth in both the state constitution and Wisconsin statutes. I want to take a moment of your time to reflect and perhaps inform you of the duties of each of these offices. The Office of Register of Deeds was established in 1836 while Wisconsin was still a state territory. The primary duty of land registration was removed from the position of the Register and Probate to assigned specifically to this office. In addition to being the designated repository for documentation of land title, real estate deeds, encumbrances, this office is also the repository for vital records such as death, birth, and marriage certificates. These two primary roles remain in effect through today. And there's probably not a person in this room that has not been affected by this type of record they keep. The Office of County Treasurer might be simply described as the keeper of county funds and the tax collector. However, there is no simple part of these requirements. Statutorily, the office is responsible for receiving, dispersing, and recording of all county funds, investing those funds and administrating all tax laws, and collecting those dreaded property taxes. The Office of County Clerk is the supervisor of the Kenosha of the county election process, as well as secretary of the county board. In my personal opinion, all these roles, but specifically the county clerk, is underrated and always overlooked until, of course, issues arise. In addition to being the repository of the election ballots, the county clerk also prepares and delivers those ballots and executes the board of canvass for all of the elections that could sometimes be in excess of 4 cycles a year. The additional role of secretary to the county board is always unrelenting, with weekly minutes and agendas being disseminated. The county clerk, if you didn't know, also does the applications for marriage license and initial applications for U.S. passports. This is only a brief and simple overview of the duties set forth in these offices. The nuances of each of these positions could only be addressed by talking with each elected individually. But each of those offices hold high standards for service to the public, which is a value culturally and historically maintained all over Kenosha County. I recently heard a comment that it takes a lot of moxie to run for public office. These fine women have shown that they have the moxie to do that. But more importantly, they have the passion and the integrity to uphold the duties of their office, along with a strong knowledge for their respective positions. They surround themselves with admirable possess who have their strong character and work ethic. Lastly, I know that they also possess tenacity to have a partisan elected position while ensuring that partisanship does not enter the sphere of their governmental duties. Thank you, Teri, Regi, and Jennifer. Best wishes to you as you represent all of Kenosha County during your term of office. With that, I'd like to bring County Board Vice Chair Daniel Gashke, County Board Supervisor of the 7th District, to share a few remarks.
Well, good afternoon. My name is Daniel Gashke. I currently serve as the Vice Chair of the Kenosha County Board, and I've served on the County Board since 2018, representing District 7, which we happen to be located in right now, so welcome to the 7th District. Over the past 6 years, I've had the opportunity and the privilege to work with these three ladies and with their teams, and so it's an honor for me to be here with you today to celebrate and to recognize these individuals as they enter into this next chapter of their continued service to our community. Now, Becky has already shared with us the history and the background and the role of these constitutional officers. So in my short time with you this afternoon, I'd like to focus our attention on the office holders themselves, on these three individuals and what makes them uniquely qualified to serve in their roles. One of the things that I personally love about serving in local and county government is that it is nonpartisan. So on the county board, the county executive, other local elected officials, none of us have R's or D's after our name. We're elected by our community to do what is best for our community as a whole, not for one particular political party or one ideological perspective. Now, in the case of these offices, they are part of the November election, and they do happen to be affiliated with a particular party. But as Becky mentioned, one overarching quality that stands out to me about these individuals is their nonpartisan approach, their non-political way that they perform their duties and serve our community, our whole community. And these three ladies and their teams, they treat everybody with dignity and with respect, regardless of their political perspectives or their party affiliation. And that's something that I personally appreciate about them, and I look forward to them continuing to do over the next 4 years as they serve our community. Well, let's start off with Teri. Teri Jacobson was first elected county treasurer in November of 2002. So she has been serving in this role for over 22 years. Thank you, Teri. Teri was born and raised right here in Kenosha. She's a proud graduate of Bradford and UW Parkside, and she has been active in our community throughout her entire life. She served on a variety of boards with different organizations, including the Girl Scout Council of Wisconsin Southeast, in which she received the Distinguished Service Award. She served with the Racine-Kenosha County Community Action Agency. She was also awarded the Signature Award from the Mary Lou and Arthur C. Mahone Foundation for her humanitarian work in our community. She's also received a County Treasurer Special Recognition Award for her extraordinary service as County Treasurer. She's been the chair of the State Treasurer's Homeowners Task Force. She served as president of the Wisconsin County Treasurers Association and as secretary of the Wisconsin Association of County Officers. Currently, Teri co-chairs the cooking studio for the Mahone Fund's Harbor Rhythm and Blues Festival. She's the secretary of the Sister Cities Association of Kenosha and the president of the Wisconsin County Constitutional Officers Association. And that's all in addition to her role here serving our community. Throughout her tenure as treasurer, Teri has helped develop a new program called the Wisconsin Help for Homeowners. And this program assisted people that were hurt by COVID to be able to pay delinquent taxes, utility bills, late mortgage payments, resulting in over 260 Kenosha families being able to keep their homes and over 9,700 families being able to keep their homes statewide. She's worked to increase public access to our records by helping to create and promote the county's property inquiry website. Teri's work has also significantly reduced delinquent taxes here in Kenosha County. helping Kenosha County to receive and maintain our AAA bond rating. Teri has also taught countless groups about property taxes and created a template that's being used all across the state to educate students and community groups and first-time home buyers about property taxes. She's worked closely with our municipal clerks and treasurers and many other municipal and county officials and departments to better serve Kenosha County residents. Going forward, in her upcoming term, Teri plans to continue to improve public access to online public records, to work to improve state statutes, to modernize them and fix current issues, and to work with other elected officials and departments to help create ways to implement the new Judicial Privacy Act and recent changes to the sale of properties taken for back taxes. So Teri, congratulations on your re-election, and thank you for your many years of service to our community. Next let's talk about Regi. Regi Waligora has served Kenosha County for over 20 years. Beginning in 2004, Regi served as the elected officials clerk, working closely with the clerk of courts, the county clerk, the register of deeds, and the county treasurer's office. And now for the past 5 years, since 2020, Regi has served in her current role as the Kenosha County clerk. She grew up right here in Kenosha County in the Salem Lakes area. And in her free time, what little she has, she's an artist, and she brings her qualities of being a perfectionist, loving organization and order to her role here as county clerk. Now, throughout Regi's tenure, she's helped to digitize the proceedings and the minutes of the county board. She works closely with me and the other board members in our meetings throughout the month. And by digitizing those, she's been able to provide an easy-to-search format for our community to access. Regi has also worked to reduce the backlog of tax-deeded properties, helping to get those properties back onto the tax rolls. She's worked to improve the county clerk's website, providing more election and more candidate-related information for the public to be able to access. And she's given the clerk's office more exposure to the public and to the community by working with the county executive's office at the Kenosha County Fair and in other ways. Moving forward in her upcoming term, Regi is planning to continue to extend our passport services to Western Kenosha County by continuing to host special passport events at the Kenosha County Center. She's looking forward to continuing to provide better access to election-related information on the Kenosha County website, and to continue working with the county executive's office to raise public knowledge and public awareness of all the services that the Kenosha County Clerk's office offers. Regi is proud of the team that she's built, and as a public-facing office, Regi and her team provide information and they provide services to a wide range of county residents. Again, treating every individual with respect and with kindness, never showing partisan favor. And you'll find transparency on her department's website and in every conversation that you have with Regi and her staff. She's passionate about serving Kenosha County, and she's very mindful of the public perception of Kenosha County government. So Regi, congratulations on your re-election, and I look forward to your continued service to our community. And finally, Jennifer. Jennifer Mack has served in the Kenosha County Register of Deeds office for 19 years, 12 of those years as the chief deputy. And so now, today, she is officially beginning her first term as the Kenosha County Register of Deeds. Congratulations. Jennifer also grew up right here in Kenosha. She's a graduate of Concordia University with a business management and communication degree. She's also a former small business owner, having developed, owned, and operated a concession business that served both of Kenosha, the city of Kenosha's public pools, as well as the Castle soccer fields and other fairs and festivals. Jennifer has held a real estate license for over 10 years and was also the owner and manager of several rental units. She's currently involved in the Kenosha Women's Network and has served on the scholarship committee for 2024. And on a personal note, Jennifer is also actively involved with her 5 grandchildren, and number 6 is on the way. Throughout Jennifer's tenure with the County Register of Deeds office, she's been involved with the RFP process to have all of our land records and our land record books digitized. And can you believe it? There were over 1 million images included in that digitization process. She also helped to develop a new streamlined recording process, which allows the Register of Deeds to instantly record and scan documents into the system, return the originals back again, and give immediate access to title companies, law firms, and others. Jennifer has also been involved in a project to digitize all of our guarantee and grantee index books, and there are over 170 books involved in that over the history of our county. She's also helped with the design of Kenosha's online web portal, the Land Shark website, and her office is continuously backscanning historical vital records, adding metadata to each of these records, and daily verifying historical documents to ensure that the data is accurate and is available for anybody who would like to search that. Moving forward in her first upcoming term, Jennifer plans to continue to preserve Kenosha County's physical land record books, the actual books themselves throughout the course of our county's history, as well as digitizing the vital records and military discharge that we have on microfilm. So Jennifer, congratulations on your first official election, and thank you for your continued service to our community. In conclusion, I'd like to thank each of you ladies for your continued service to our community. Your personalities, your backgrounds, your education, your experiences more than qualify you for the roles that you serve. And we as a community are fortunate and we're blessed to have you serving in these positions. Thank you for all you have, and thank you for all that you will continue to do. Keep up the good work, and please let me know if there's ever any way that I can be of help or support to you. Thank you.
Now we'll have the oath of office. Raise your right hand, repeat after me. I, Regi Waligora,
I, Regi Waligora,
having been duly elected to the office of County Clerk, but have not yet entered upon the duties thereof, swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and will faithfully discharge the duties of the said office to the best of my ability. So help me God.
So help me.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for coming out on this chilly day and joining us to witness this celebration in this beautiful courtroom and this historical tradition. I tried cutting down my thoughts, but then I thought, you know what? I didn't get an opportunity in 2020, so maybe I get double time. I don't know, Terry, what do you think?
Take whatever you want.
First of all, I would like to thank all of you that have helped me get to this day. I must give a special thanks to a few friends that have made an impact on my journey to Kenosha, or to County Clerk. First goes to Mary Kubicki for recognizing leadership and organizational qualities in me and believing in my ability to serve as clerk. To Edie Lamoth, who at one point in my life had taught me everything I needed to know about working in the clerk's office. Edie, things have changed a lot in the last 5.5 years, and I think I could finally teach you a few things. To Becky, who has been one of my biggest cheerleaders in everything I do, always seeing me so differently than I see myself. And to Ann Wilson, from her once questioning, who is this Reggie, to becoming such a special person in my life, always honest, straightforward, no nonsense, a constant encourager, and showing faith in me. And of course to my mother, who never got to see me get to this point in my journey, but would often ask me, when do I get to vote for you? Having these wonderful ladies in my life has truly been inspiring as well as comforting. I have served Kenosha County for over 20 years. I still have the ripped out ad of the from the advertiser in 2004 when I applied for the elected officials clerk. I keep this posted in my office as a reminder of where I began. Now, I never thought that I would be the old one. Edie, I might finally be middle-aged. But to date myself, and I might be dating Teri as well, when I began in this at Kenosha County, Edna Highland was county clerk, Teri Jacobson was treasurer, Louise Principe was register of deeds, and Gail Gentz was the clerk of courts. What an excellent experience I gained working in their offices. In 2008, I accepted a position in the county clerk's office and briefly worked for Edna Highland until Mary Kubicki was elected clerk in 2008. I worked beside Edie. We spent more time together than we spent with our own families. Edie has helped me through many of the most difficult times in my life, and then finally to be part of the greatest times, leading to a Monday morning conversation with her asking me, so how was your weekend? I said, oh, I met this guy, but it's nothing. We talked a little, but no numbers exchanged. I'll probably never see him again. Edie said, I have a good feeling about this one. And I laughed. Turns out her intuition was great. That guy was my Joe, who is now my husband. Sometimes your friends just know what's best for you. In 2019, Edie retired after 23 years in the clerk's office. And Mary appointed me to chief deputy. Then only a few months later, after Mary serving as clerk for 11 years and working for Kenosha County for a total of 41 years, Mary decided it was time to retire, and her last day was New Year's Eve 2019. That basically left me alone, being the only one left with all this clerk knowledge. It was overwhelming. It was an overwhelming sense of responsibility, but I was ready for the challenge. In January of 2020, the County Board of Supervisors unanimously voted to appoint me as county clerk to complete Mary's term. Later that year, at the November 2020 election, I was elected county clerk. I have served as county clerk for 5 years, and during this time, I have administered 16 elections for Kenosha County. I have conducted at least 5 county board election recounts, I think. I might be losing count. Though with each of these recounts, it solidified the accuracy of our local elections. I have experienced many challenges, one of them being the building of my team from the ground up. I want to recognize a couple of individuals that have been part of this team. Those two are Michelle Nelson, our now city clerk treasurer, and Alyssa Pageant, our communication and election specialist for the city of Kenosha. Having the experience of working closely with these two have helped me to grow as a leader, has shown me the result of working as a team, and has helped me to understand better some of my responsibilities as county election administrator. Before each election, Michelle and I have a conversation that ends with Michelle reminding me that we, all of us clerks, are in this together. We are Team Clerk. That goes a long way to help get me through the day, knowing that we have each other to talk things through. This type of communication is key to Kenosha County elections being so successful in operation, fairness, safety, and accuracy. In my first term of clerk, I made significant contributions to the county clerk's website, including providing more election-related information to the public. A few things that Daniel mentioned about digitizing the proceedings and the minutes, giving the clerk's office more exposure to the public by working with the county executive at the county fair, and that has been a wonderful experience and something very new for the clerk's office, and I enjoy that very much. I also inspired the municipal clerks to gather for a team building and camaraderie, which began with a visit from Secretary of State Sarah Godlewski in November of 2023, and has led to Alyssa Pageant taking ownership of this initiative, making it happen and investing her time, ideas, and leadership. We just had a meeting this morning, and Alyssa made mention that it has been a year since the meeting of the clerks began. And it was kind of funny because she shared a little bit about how it all started, and I had already included this in my highlighted topics for today. This is something the clerks of Kenosha County should be very proud of. This is not a common practice in most of the other 71 counties. During this current term, I would like to continue to provide more additional passport services out at the county center. Continue the work with the county executive at the fairs, and continue to provide better access to election-related information on the county website. We will always continue our excellent customer service, and I would like to incorporate more election education for the public and to build back faith in our democratic process. As Daniel said, I am passionate about serving Kenosha County, and you will see this in the work that is produced by my office. My goal is to provide transparency on our website and in every conversation and every person that I and my staff deal with. I believe educating the public in the practice and responsibilities of our services is vital, and at this moment in time, I believe there needs to be a special focus on educating our community about our election processes. I am very mindful of public perception of Kenosha County government, and I'm honored to be given the opportunity to continue to serve the people of our county. And it can't go without saying, I could not continue to experience success in this office without the commitment, dedication, and loyalty of my current team, Amanda, Julia, Elizabeth, Julie, and Andrea. Again, thank you all for being here.
Thanks, Jennifer Mack. Raise your hand and repeat after me. I, Jennifer Mack,
I, Jennifer Mack,
having been duly elected
having been duly elected
to the office of Register of Deeds,
to the office of Register of Deeds,
but have not yet entered upon the duties
but have not yet entered upon the duties
thereof, swear that I will support
swear that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and will faithfully discharge
and will faithfully discharge
the duties of the said office
the duties of the said office
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Left-handed. So
Yes.
am I.
All right.
Yeah.
Lefties unite.
Right? You too?
No.
Oh.
God, no. I can barely write with my right hand. I got you. I already cried during Reggie, so we're good.
Okay.
You got this.
I'm very happy to be here today. Very, very excited. I must admit, though, that giving a speech in front of so many people is not what I normally do, and it's much easier to actually do my job that I'm confident in and I enjoy each and every day. So bear with me if I struggle a little bit. But speeches are easy when they do come from the heart. And every time I tried to think about what I wanted, every time I tried to think about what I really wanted to say today, I always came back to one word that just kept coming through, and that's thankful. So I'm going to take you on a short journey through my career and why I'm so thankful. In 2006, I was going through a divorce and I had to seek full-time employment. At that time, I had my concession business and I said I had to get a big girl job, one that was not seasonal, one that had benefits and so forth. So I, like Reggie, had the ad in the newspaper, which I just found the other day, and I'm going to have to bring it to work. I applied and I tested, and I believe there was about 300 applicants, and I was hired on January of 2007. I am thankful. Then in 2012, when Louise Prinsby retired and Joellen Storrs became the registrar, I was appointed her chief deputy, and I am thankful. Joellen has trained me and guided me so much over the years and has prepared me for this transition as best as possible. I still know where to find you, and I am thankful. Then, in 2024, when Joellen decided to retire, it took me about a month to deliberate a little bit, speak with my husband, and then I decided to run. What made me decide to run was that my staff is amazing. Very great group of women. They're very knowledgeable, professional, courteous, and they're very good to work with. They help make the office run smooth and efficiently. I am thankful for my coworkers, and now I can call them my staff. I'm thankful for my family, my parents, my children, my sister, nieces and nephews, and the other members of my family that couldn't be with me today. They totally pumped my campaign, and they were wearing my campaign t-shirts everywhere. And they had car signs, yard signs, and they just always were promoting me and wearing those shirts, and I'm very proud of them and thankful for their support. They definitely are my #1 cheerleaders, and I am thankful. All the individual signatures that I received to get on the ballot, and all those that collected the actual signatures, I'm very thankful for all these friends and the family. I'm truly thankful for my husband, Mike. When I decided to run, the first thing he did when I was working was he went out, bought me some campaign supplies, clipboards, extra pens. He bought me a cork board, and on the cork board he tacked up a little note, took me in the room and showed me, and on it said, "You got this." And I have leaned on him a lot. He managed my campaign so very well, helped me organize all my plans, made sure I was going to where I had to go, and I often had to be reminded by him that I got this. So thank you. I thank God every day for my life, my health, my past, my present, and my future. I'm thankful for all those that voted for me and entrust me with the responsibilities of the Register of Deeds office, for maintaining all the Kenosha County land records that date back to 1850, processing all the vital records, keeping confidentiality, providing professional, prompt, and kind customer service. All the support and the encouragement that I have received during this journey has been very heartfelt. I'm thankful. I can honestly say I feel like I got this. And I know I got a lot to learn still, but I feel good. I will continue to grow the office and provide the services that the public and other business entities need, and I'm honored to be serving the community, and I thank all of you. Thank you.
just me.
All right,
I
Teri.
mean, I've done this a few times, it's okay.
Well, it's you and me together here. Please raise your right hand. I, Teri Jacobson,
I, Teri Jacobson,
having been duly elected
having been duly elected
to the office of County Treasurer,
to the office of County Treasurer,
but have not yet entered upon the duties
but have not yet entered upon the duties
thereof, good, swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and will faithfully discharge
and will faithfully discharge
the duties of the said office
the duties of the said office
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Well, thank you, Chad. I've known Chad for a very long time now. Probably neither of us want to think about how long that's been. Let's just say before I was actually elected to office. Looking back, Joe Patente asked me today how many of these I've done, and I had to count them. And this is my 8th swearing-in ceremony, if we count the one during COVID, which was just us. But because when I started, there were 2-year terms. We had to amend the state constitution to get this 4-year term that we all love so much. The unique thing about when we had 2-year terms, it meant that all of the county constitutional officers were on the same ballot together. So back then, there were 5 of us that were doing this, so just think of how crazy that would be. So my first group that I was sworn in with was, let's see, we had Gail Gens over there, we had Louise Principe, we had Edna Highland, we had Bob Jamboy for DA, and then we had David Beth for sheriff. So let's just say I've been through a few of some of those offices during my time here. I've enjoyed every moment of this so far 22-year-old ride. People often think of the county treasurer job and they're like, that has to be so boring, has to be so dull. And I tell them, no, honestly it's not. I love it. I learn something new every day, and I've continued to learn something new every day for the last 22 years. I tell all the ladies in my office, as we're frustrated over some new change or some crazy thing that happened that's never happened before, and I tell them that this is my way to make sure that they never get dementia. We're constantly stimulating our brains and learning new things and figuring out how to overcome new challenges together in the office. And I can say that as many plans as I have made, most of them have come true, but some of the greatest accomplishments in my office have been complete surprises. For example, the homeownership network and the homeowners task force that Dan spoke about before, that happened because of COVID, a lot of it. COVID happened and we saw this emergency that could potentially have people being forced out of their homes and becoming behind on their property taxes and their mortgages. And so a group of us got together with the state treasurer and really started that program. And we lobbied for federal money to fund that program, to save all those homes for people across the state. That's not something I planned on doing when I started that term, but it's something that happened. And I think that's a lot of being a public official, is responding to those challenges when they come up while you're in office. I've worked with so many great people over the years, many of which have already been listed here. But the municipal clerks and treasurers are a joy all the time. People somehow think we're the boss of them, and we're not. We really all work together. I teasingly say I'm like mama treasurer, and then and we all get together and we're gonna figure it out. And that's when they call me for questions or have issues or a crazy thing happened in their office, I'm like, okay, let's think about that for a second. How can we figure this out? And that's what we do. And so much of our job is figuring out how to address this new and interesting thing that comes upon us every day. For me, being amongst all the elected officials has been the story of my life. I worked on my first campaign when I was 4 years old. I remember back when I was a little blonde-headed girl going to campaign for John Collins and his St. Patrick's Day fundraiser every year. I remember Nancy Principe for county clerk when I was a little girl, and she actually gave me a little necklace for being her youngest campaign manager ever. And my mother shaking down people at the Burger King drive-thru to raise money to buy walkie-talkies for crossing guards because they didn't have a way to communicate when there was a problem on a street corner with a child. And so my public service in my family, I talk about this with Tim Mahone all the time, it was never a question of if we were going to serve our community, it's how you will serve your community. And so I've taken a lot of passion in that. I look out to some former administrators from UW Parkside, and we were just discussing, they've been to every one of these that I've had other than COVID. And it's been a joy to have them in my life. Honestly, when I was a rebellious student at UW Parkside, I didn't think Bill Streeter liked me very much, but apparently he does because he's still here, because he was the vice chancellor for fiscal affairs and I was the chair of SUFAC, which is the money committee for students, and there's often some conflicts there. And Steve has given me advice from the days of when he and Gary Grace and I would sit up in the tower at Parkside and have discussions post-student government meetings. So my public service goes way back, and it is only made possible by all those people who inspire me every day to do this job. Many of you know that my mother was a county treasurer before I was. So for me, county treasurer and public service was dinner conversation growing up. And I think that's something important to provide to our kids. I'm often saddened that we don't have elections in schools anymore, because I remember as a child on election day being taken past the voting booths and the teachers talking about it. And I think that's really important that we give our children that idea of public service. Because for me, this isn't just a job, it's a service. It's something that we do for our community and for our friends and our neighbors to make their lives better every day. And one thing I love about the County Treasurers Association statewide is I honestly have to think often which party the other treasurer is, because really our focus is on serving people and making their lives better. So I hope we can take that away from today, that these jobs are here for all of us to try to make our communities better and stronger going forward. And in this time of division, I think it's even more important for us to come together and remember the oath. My oath today said nothing about me being a Democrat or a Republican. It said I swore an oath to the Constitution. And that's very important for all of us to remember in service. Thank you.
Wow. Well, again, hard to follow all three of them. So first off, I just want to thank everybody for coming today.
I also would like to recognize
You touch them. Just press the button.
All right.
There you go.
All right. Okay. I'd also like to, a couple people have walked in since we began these proceedings, and there are two former supervisors, Zach Rodriguez and Mike Underhill, who have joined us. And then school board member Rebecca Stevens and Alderman Kenny Harper also joined us as well as the proceedings came on today. I also just want to again, a lot of my remarks have already been said, so I appreciate that, but being part and being able to work with three wonderful people who every day their mission is to make people's lives better in Kenosha County. And that to me is what's made my job so easy, is working with these ladies who just want to solve problems. People ask me what we do. I'm a problem solver, and I get to work with very, very talented people, and I would include Becky and our new district attorney, looking forward to working with him as well, and our sheriff, because again, we are a team. We are the representatives that people see out and about in the community, representing Kenosha County, and how we act and how we uphold our offices are so valuable. And it is hard. It is hard to be that person who puts your name out there on the ballot, and to have over 50 years 50 years of experience, might not have been elected for 50 years, but 50 years of experience sitting in front of me that help make our county better every day and solve the problems that people ask. And so again, it's truly just been an honor to work with them the last about 3 years in my role, but I've known several of you longer than that, and then continue to work with you for another 4 years, hopefully, and we'll go from there. So again, I want to thank everybody for coming today and sharing their the celebration with these people. I want to also invite you, as part of my task, to a reception honoring everybody today at Mason's. And then at this time, I'd like to turn it over to Alvin to give the benediction today. So again, thank you all for coming.
I'm not a judge, and for our benediction, I get to say this, and I'm not a judge, but I get to say this. All rise.
You don't even play one on TV?
Right. Father, in remembering our need for your saving grace, I lift those in authority to you locally and also nationally. Create in us humble hearts so that we may pray for our leaders to honor you in everything they do. Also give us the strength to pray for our leaders and bless them even when it is hard. So pray for me on that one. Heavenly Father, as we conclude this time together, we thank you for the opportunity to lead and serve. Guide our steps with wisdom and discernment. Grant us strength to face challenges with courage, and remind us to always prioritize the needs of those we serve. May our leadership reflect your love and compassion. We ask this in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Kenosha County Circuit Court is adjourned.